Good evening, folks. It's about June the 19th, 2021 here as I'm recording this video. And I just want to talk a little bit about the what life might be like in a post-COVID society. Our vaccination seems to be doing quite well here in Canada and the US, and a lot of the more developed countries. There are some countries that are not getting the vaccines they should. But anyway, what I'm here to talk about is how life is going to be once COVID passes. And most of us are vaccinated. We're well on the way to that now, actually. A little bit ahead, it seems. And as many of you know, we've been going through COVID. It's been 15 months now, just a little over 15 months now since the pandemic really took off. And in the last couple of months, vaccinations have been really ramped up and moving along quite well. And in a stage 1 reopening, we might be, as of about a week now, in stage 1 here in the province of Ontario at least. Other provinces are moving along at different paces. The US, of course, is well on the way to reopening, getting back to normal, and there's lots of vaccinations, but there seems to be a second vaccine hesitancy amongst Americans. It seems to be slowing down. Here in Canada, we seem to be doing pretty well for getting our second doses. AstraZeneca, I'm probably going to get the second dose of AstraZeneca unless specialists say, unless the doctors or whatever that provider says otherwise, but that's pretty much on the docket, so probably the next couple of weeks or so. There's at the 8-week point now. It had been 16 weeks originally. The previous video, 3 weeks after my first COVID vaccine that I did, it was at 16, and then they moved it up to 12, and then shortly after, they seem to be after the 8 weeks you can get the second dose now, because of the Delta variant that's making its way across the country. So with that said, wondering what is what is life after COVID going to be like? Well, I'm no expert. I'm far from it. But there's going to, I think there's still going to be a lot of people paranoid, and social distancing. People are still going to do it, even when they say the day comes when the experts or the medical people, they say that, yeah, we can hug and all that again, all that stuff, shake hands, but people are going to be cautious about it. Is it going to be the same as before COVID? I know I'm not really scared as far as catching COVID is concerned. I know I'll be vaccinated. But are people still going to be paranoid? I think so, and I think people can be more cautious about things and handling stuff. I just think that, I just wonder if, in some instances we be overreacting. My parents, they're in a retirement home right now, and they've got their first shot. Well, they've got all their shots, and most of the staff, I think, have been vaccinated as far as I know. But yet, we're still not really, we're not free to go visit as of yet. I know that will come, but I think it's just going to be a little bit. Our economy, I think, is going to take a little bit of time as well to recover, because I think that, people getting out in stores and stuff like that, it's going to still be a little bit of unnerving. People visiting, it's going to be, I think some people are just, people will have that, during the height of COVID, some people didn't care. They went and congregated, of course, so as they got in trouble for it. But I think it's just going to be all a matter of common sense, and I think going to be self-policing. I do think, though, that it is a good idea, though it would be a good idea for countries to require people to at least have proof of vaccination before entering. Like people coming into Canada from the States should show proof of vaccination, and likewise in reverse, Canadians going to the US for whatever reason should show proof of vaccination. And I think that's the best route. And I think a lot of events, I think initially are going to push vaccination. One example given yesterday, a couple days ago, is a musical in New York. I think it's Springsteen. The musical people will have to show proof of vaccination, and they, if you have the AstraZeneca, you will not be in because it's not FDA approved right now at time of this recording. Now, I know that's going to be a thing with some people. They're going to be pick and choose the type of vaccine, but I believe that, you know, I think eventually it's just, when it all just becomes second nature, people aren't going to think about it. They're just going to get whatever. And I think that's what people should be doing, is just take whatever. I think the Pfizer and Moderna are the big popular ones. I mean, as I said earlier on, I'm getting the AstraZeneca, although I'm not closed to getting the Pfizer or Moderna. But my first dose was the AstraZeneca back on the 22nd of April. And I do think that, you know, people should be, rightly so, should be cautious. How is life going to be like in general? You know, are there still going to be those friendly handshakes and stuff like that, like people always did? And as I said, I think people are going to be more cautious, and I think, you know, I think stores and stuff and everybody will, you know, will be afraid, you know, to get too close. But I think it will all eventually ease up over time. And once, you know, like once everyone's vaccinated and the COVID, because I don't think COVID-19 virus as such is not going to disappear completely. It's going to be like some of these, like the flu and stuff like that, that's still going to be around, but it's, I don't know if it's going to eventually be like what polio and smallpox and some of these things that from 100 or so years ago or before that, some of these. But we'll wait and see. I think, you know, I have faith, and but I just think, you know, everybody, if you're watching this, get the vaccine if you haven't already. And, you know, some people, they're thinking that no, it's bad for us, it's going to mess us up. You know, I think just get vaccinated, and let's just get us back to normal as we can be. And the more of us do it, the better off we'll be, I believe. So there it is, my take on what post-COVID is going to be like. So you can take it or leave it or just whatever. But that is my thoughts on COVID-19 and post-COVID-19.